One point that Cole brought up was look and see in the Scriptures how willing Satan is to not play by the rules, to not respect time, to be willing to inflict pain upon people for long periods of time. That woman with the issue of blood for 12 years, there's a woman in Luke 13 that's hunched over for 18 years. He doesn't care. And then he pointed to the example of children. Think about how heartbroken we are by childhood cancer and other diseases. Notice that there are times in Scripture when the devil or when demons possess children, even young children. Mark chapter 9 is an instance. When the father is begging Jesus, he brings the son to Jesus. And when he's telling Jesus about how much destruction the demon is causing his son, he throws him down, he grinds his teeth, he foams at the mouth. That's scary. We would see that as life-threatening if we ever saw it in person. Then he says he tries to throw him in the fire. He tries to throw him in the water to try to destroy him. And then Jesus asks the question, how long has this been happening? He's a boy. Jesus asks, how long has this been happening? And the father says, from childhood. I don't know exactly the age ranges he's talking about, but it sounds like this is not just a recent development. That he's still young, and yet it's been happening for some time. The devil doesn't operate by our code of ethics or respect. He's willing to take advantage of even young children. You fast forward to Acts chapter 16. In the city of Philippi, Paul and Silas and Luke and others come upon that young slave girl. And the text says she has a spirit of divination. And then beyond that, her owners were making a profit off of her. So think about that for a moment. Here she is. Slavery was a common profession, of course, so that in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. But here she is being owned by someone and being possessed by this evil spirit, and those owners are not doing what the Father does in Mark 9. They're actually profiting off of this evil spirit controlling her. Those evil spirits don't care. They're willing to take advantage of young, vulnerable children just to plant the seeds, just to expose them to things that could go on to ruin their lives as adults. It doesn't answer every question, but just think about Acts 16 for a moment as an answer to why a lot of the world experiences suffering. Good people, young people, vulnerable people, innocent people, why do they suffer? Because of the influence of the evil one. Here she is, possessed by an evil spirit, but she's also in the midst of and owned by people who are also being controlled by the evil one, this time under their choice, their submission to sin. They're profiting off of her.